Good morning, Coach Craig here. If you think of the analogy of a performer who has a famous song that is a crowd favorite and they go on tour. And let's say that this performer is doing 100 shows, 200 shows a night. 200 shows a night. 200 shows a year. And so every night when they go out on a show, they have to perform this song. How do they keep the song fresh? So this is what I call the builder's paradox. They've created this system for their success, and now they have this beautiful vehicle for producing the thing, right? To deliver the product over and over and over, but they feel like, I don't want to do this shit anymore. There's a point where it gets so monotonous, and no matter how beautiful the song is, it gets monotonous. So how do they keep it fresh? So here's a couple of insights on this. Having some experience with this, having played the same song literally every, different nights, the musicianship and the skills of the individual musicians can use the constraint of the song to infuse it with new lifeblood. And so that's one aspect, that the skills and the capabilities that you have in your business, if you're feeling this same sensation of like, oh my God, like I can't play this song another night, you can lean on your skills and capabilities to try to infuse some variance into the process, to create a variation on the theme. And when I think about a CrossFit box, it's the same thing, where it's constantly varied, and constantly varied is the key. That what keeps it interesting and keeps the really, really difficult yet high impact thing in my life is the variance. If I literally had to go in and do the same workout every day, no, I wouldn't even do it for a week. It's the variance. So one aspect is that you leverage your skills and capabilities and the skills and capabilities of the people around you in order to create some vibrancy, in order to riff off each other a little bit. And so that's one aspect. And then another aspect is that the song itself can create this resonance with your crowd, with the people who are enjoying it. And it might be different. For example, if you're having workshops, right? Every workshop is different. It hits different. It lands different. And if you are just a robot going through the motions and you're not really sensitive to how it's hitting, then you're leaving a lot of opportunity for energy on the table. And so the energy that comes from interacting with the group is very powerful. You might have a group where everything is falling flat, right? Where you're just like, okay, this is interesting, right? And if you're curious about that and you're like, oh, this is different, as opposed to just continuing to grind through it and then, okay, I got another workshop tomorrow, I'm gonna grind through it, right? If you're truly curious and interested to know, why is it falling flat? What is it that's different? Is it the time of day? Is there a time zone issue? Is there, a particular difference in the marketing targeting that, got a different demographic? Who knows? Whatever it is, but at least be curious. And then that can infuse some excitement. And then once you're curious, you can maybe ask some questions of the group in order to get some feedback. And then you might have the opposite situation where oh my God, that was so vibrant. I loved how everybody was responding, reacting, and everything else. And you're like, I want to replicate that all the time. Well, get curious, right? Figure it out. And you can, if you were just going through the motions, you would have missed that. You would have missed the vibrancy. And maybe later that evening, you would have been like, oh, I guess I was a vibrant crowd, right? Where you weren't in the moment with them. So those are two things to think about. Number one is to leverage the skills and capabilities, like really sort of dig in and enjoy the ability of your people to play, right? To have great musicians on your team. And then the second is to be sensitive in the moment to while you're delivering the thing, right? And to have that immediate feedback. Those are two techniques that might be helpful for reinfusing some energy into your approach. So I have and this whole sort of topic of energy architecture, and I have a toolkit called Campfires and Vampires that you might be interested in. I'll put a link in the description, and once it's available, then you might find some interest in figuring out how to use these tools in order to get yourself out of that state now that you've created a business that feels like a cage to you. Getting out of that state sometimes requires that you identify where those things that energize you, the campfires, and the things that drain you, the vampires, live. Coach Craig out.